Well, guys, our guest for the night here is a Las Vegas magician who specializes in corporate events, trade shows, and private parties. He has been featured on the number one episode of SyFy Wizard Wars. He has performed for Disney, Motley Crue, Chevy, the Chicago Bulls, and many others. He also set up and wrote the training of the Main Street Magic Shop at Disneyland, as well as managed the number one magic store chain in Las Vegas before performing full time. He is also the manager for the Shocker.
It's Greg Dow.
In the magic world, I'm known for my larger-than-life personality and my shocking performance style. Love me or hate me, you're gonna want to watch me.
So, Greg, besides doing all these TV shows, you also specializes in corporate events. You do trade shows. You do private parties. Tell us about those. And, how do you actually stand out from the rest?
Well, being in Vegas, there's a lot of us in Vegas that do the corporate events, private parties, trade shows come to town. Mm-hmm. The way I've managed to stand out, the TV absolutely helped, but for those out there, TV is getting less and less. Internet is becoming more and more. That's why a show like yours might get as many visitors as Masters of Illusion might. Like, there's shows that can get 1 million views on the internet that can't get that on TV anymore. So having good video and having something that represents who you are when you're showing it to a client is the most important thing. Like, when people see my video, I've been lucky I've been on TV so they can use my TV stuff to watch. But even before then, I put together a video that showed my personality and why you'd want me at your show, not just any magician. Because you want people to hire you. I want people to hire Greg. Right. I don't want them to hire the magician in town.
Right.
So, yeah, just try to stand out.
So what is one tip that you give magicians who are currently watching right now, who wanting to go into corporate events and trade shows? How do they stand out? I mean, of course, for you.
Well, you don't come to Vegas. There's too many of us already. Stay where you are. If you want to stand out, learn what your personality is and lean into that, because everybody that's going to do a corporate event is going to have a deck of cards with them. Everybody is going to be able to do an amazing card trick with that deck of cards. Why do you want them? Why do they want to see you do it? Yeah. You personally.
That's true.
So find those moments where your personality can stand out, whether it's being super magical like Shin Lim and just giving that look, or whether it's like me and you talk a mile a minute and sound like Seth Rogen so people think that's the closest thing they're going to get. Who knows? But find out why they would want you and accentuate that as much as possible.
Yeah, and so in Asia we have a lot of floating tables in Asia.
Oh, that's a rule of thumb I have. If I know 3 other people in town doing a trick, I won't do it anymore for the most part. Like, yes, I will still do an ambitious card, but you know what I mean? Like, if it's a bigger illusion or something, I will not do a bowling. You'll never see a bowling ball fall out of a notepad. You will never see me do an origami. You will never see me do a floating table. And Losander lives out here. Losander is a very nice man. Buy his tables. You absolutely should buy his tables.
Yeah.
I just won't do it because so many people do it. Don't buy a trick that you want to learn and build the show around that. Build your show and find the tricks that work in your show. So, yeah, it's something, I believe this in a lot of aspects of life. You don't want to, like, a lot of magicians, a Losander table is a perfect thing. They buy a Losander table and then they think they can now do magic or do a whole show because they have this prop. Yeah. And it might not be the right prop for them. Yeah. Don't buy the prop first. Figure out who you are first, then buy your props.
Well said. Totally agree on that. And save money.
Exactly. But don't buy knockoff tables. Actually buy Losander's tables. They're really nice tables.
So, I mean, tell us about Shocker.
So Shocker and I met. Well, when Shocker and I met, I'm not crazy. Well, I am crazy, but that's a different story entirely. Shocker and I met kind of while I was working at the magic shop, I made friends with certain people in town, and you know the Amazing Jonathan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Amazing Jonathan had a show in Vegas for years and years and years. One of my biggest idols, like when I was growing up, that was one of the guys that I watched all the time, was Jonathan. And his theater, we would use his theater at night to put on a show called After the Show, which was a kind of an open mic night, but for professionals. So it was a professional open mic night. And we were always trying to make each other laugh and do something bigger. And one day I put on the wrestling mask, and let's say that's the day Shocker was born. And there was no looking back after that.
Ladies and gentlemen, strap on your seatbelts, because you've seen Copperfield, you've seen Blaine, and you've seen Angel, but you've never seen anybody like this before. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Shocker!
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the master of magical mayhem, the pile driver of prestidigitation, and the ambassador of Kick Your Asseter. And I'm the only magician approved by Jimmy Hart to kick all of your minds. So be prepared, because the Shocker is coming at you live.
What's up, Malaysia? How you guys doing at 9 o'clock at night? What the hell am I doing awake at this hour? This is crazy. If I didn't know Greg Money, I would not be awake at this moment. I'm just telling you that right now. How you doing? What's going on, Andrew?
Good, man. How have you been? I mean, like, tell us about Greg. Since you're over here right now.
Greg, well, Greg's a nice guy. Greg pays the bills so I can have the fun. I am the Shark. For those of you that don't know me, you should look up my Foolish appearance. I got like 6 million views. I need like 2 million more. Maybe they'll bring me back on. I don't know. But yes, I am the masked maniac of magic. I am the Shocker. I am, if you took The Rock and Seth Rogen and David Blaine and threw them away because nobody's like me.
So you got a question over here. It says that any advice on character development? How did the Shocker character came about?
Well, the Shocker was inevitable. Kind of like Thanos. It was going to happen. It just happened over here. The thing about Shocker is it takes things that the inner core likes. Greg, the reason Greg and I hang out is Greg likes wrestling. I like wrestling. Greg liked wrestling. He had a passion for it. He has a passion for comic books. He has a passion for video games. So you see a lot of that come out. Use what is in about you and crank it up to 11. And if you can't figure out that yet, then come up with the things you like. Look at the characters you like and find out why they inspire you. Don't copy them. Don't put on a Piff costume and start, walking around a little dog, but figure out why you like that. Do you like it because he's weird? Do you like it because he's a jerk? Why do you like somebody like that? And then come up with that for yourself. But mostly you're going to find it in you.
So I mean, when you're booked for a show, how do you know which character to play? Or does it your clients decide?
They know. They are well. I've actually had shows. Greg has done shows where it's a good thing he had the Shocker in the car, because they hired Greg, saw the Fool Us clip, and then wanted a little bit to Shocker too. So Greg and Shocker have actually done a couple shows together too, which is, wow. That's always fun. Then you get twice the paycheck. It's great. You can charge them twice when you do this kind of thing.
So do you have to like differentiate between like tricks when you perform? Like for what tricks does Greg perform and what tricks does Shocker perform?
There's some crossover between the two, because both Greg and Shocker, they like mentalism. A lot of people give both of them a little bit of crap for that, but I Shocker likes his mentalism. It's fun. I like to do the messing with the mind. So the reveals are usually a little different. The ends of the trick tend to be a little, like the last one I did. That's more of a Shocker ending. When Greg's doing his shows, since he's doing more corporate work, his are more traditional, uplifting endings. Everybody's happy and clapping. At the end of my tricks, half the people usually want to punch me. So we go for two different kind of reactions.
Right. So, I mean, what effects have you been performing the longest?
So Shocker, I think the first trick that I truly found my voice, I thought, was actually, it was a version of Bill and Lemon. It was actually Doug Malloy's Lemon Game. So it's a very well, for those magicians out there that aren't good at writing scripts, it's a very well scripted on paper, beginning to end, Bill and Lemon that anybody can do. It's a great trick. When you can shockerize it and make the jokes more your own, that makes it even better. So it's a strong, one of the things I always wanted to do when I'm Shocker, when Shocker is performing, is I want the magic to always be strong too. I want my tricks to go right. I just want them to piss you off sometimes when they happen. So I look for ones that have that. So Doug Malloy's Lemon Game, that was the first one that I really could shockerize on my own.
Well, Greg, I think that's about it. No more questions here. No one's asking any more questions. Thank you for joining us and sharing your experiences with us today. Stay well, stay safe, and we'll speak again soon.
Wash your hands. See you soon.
Well, guys, that's all from us today. Thank you for tuning in, and remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.